Hello everyone, welcome to this short class of 5 slides and 2 links. John Nash discovered that if a participant in any game, including life, used only one strategy for every decision, that participant is a rational person and can predict and succeed in the game. Now, what is important about the Nash equilibrium is this part. This mesh network that you see, it's basically representing division of labor because each person is unique, and therefore the Nash equilibrium presages the fact that if each person being different arrives at an equilibrium strategy for himself for solving any decision that they face, then each person's strategy being different, there is the advantage of division of labor, which results in immense abundance, according to Adam Smith of Scotland, the father of economics or capitalism in The Wealth of Nations. And this is how competitive equilibrium is related to Nash equilibrium. In competitive equilibrium, which preceded Nash equilibrium, which is the solution, the Rato, the problem was that, and we will discuss this in the next slide, that competition, such as in the game of tennis, where only one person wins at the expense of the other, these are called zero-sum games. John Nash solved this problem through the Nash equilibrium. And competitive equilibrium, that is basically what this is, tennis. And we're not saying competition is bad, but that is as long as it's played as a game, right? And the threshold of pain is not exceeded. But when it is, then we have wars. And so I'm not saying wars can be played as war games. That's what gaming is. But I come from an Air Force family, and war should be played as a game with referees, and we have a natural instinct to do that. Now, going on to the next point in this slide, what Nash equilibrium dictates is cooperation, how to come out of a zero-sum game. And John Nash, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, considered a lunatic. That's another way of saying you're schizophrenic, and only received the Nobel Prize decades after his discoveries. You know, they waited for him to, stabilize. Meanwhile, all this while he had been saying he was stable, and then they gave him the Nobel Prize because they never really accepted that he did not have schizophrenia. He was just thinking on a higher level, carrying out experiments on his consciousness. Now, according to this narrator, which is myself, one of the solutions to zero-sum games is value addition. For example, if someone cannot be a tennis player, they become a tennis umpire. You know, the dude that sits on a high chair and dictates the rules of the game. I mean, who has more power, the player or the umpire? But this is basically the pyramid model, the pyramid model. And since the military superpower, let me rephrase that. According to this narrator, one of the solutions to zero-sum games is value addition. For example, if someone cannot be a tennis player, they become a tennis umpire, the pyramid model. Now, since the military superpower, the United States of America can issue as much money as it likes, and this is actually a good thing because I do believe in an umpire. A tennis umpire can be paid same as a tennis player. So, I hope you got that. So, the United States can issue as much money as it likes. Why? Because if the United States defaults on its debt, nobody can come up to the United States and say, you owe us. So yeah, as long as the military superpower is a free country, leader of the free world, or it can be any free country, but United States won the Second World War, we should owe them some honor and respect, then what's wrong with this? I know a lot of people will find problems with this, but I'm a man of principle, and this is the way it stands. Value addition. Now the problem with value addition is red tape, because this has to be done on a federal scale, and we have lots of bureaucracy to deal with, lots of politics. I won't call it bureaucracy, it's just politics, Too much politics, competition, the competitive equilibrium. It's like politics is a market. The national assemblies, the parliaments, the senates, they all haggle amongst each other, and they formed a I don't know if there's a black market in there as well, but they have basically formed what is called red tape, or a moribund economy, stalemate, or stalling jet. Okay, and this jet or passenger aircraft is carrying 8 billion people. What is needed is individual action. And let's go on to the next slide. I like to over talk and take up too much of your time. So here's the solution from yours truly, a key universal forged in the fires of hell itself. I suffered a lot too, and this is my solution. Universal decision-making NESt, as in Nash equilibrium strategy. So using this key, you can solve any decision, and you can practice and practice and practice and practice, and you will start solving problems so fast that you go as fast as light, and faster than light, you achieve enlightenment. That's your third eye, okay? And yes, when you're having fun, and this is a fun decision-making model, fun seeds S complement. S complement is everything excepting yourself. You can imagine yourself as a salt particle in your brain. I'm just giving an example. That's not a biological fact so far. And S complement is everything excepting that salt particle. So let's see, this is the salt particle. Everything, including his body, this robot's body, and this outside, its universe, is S complement. Now, what is UD NESt? It is, given I am passionate about something and I do not need to compromise by pain or force, then considering my budget, if my passion is affordable, I should follow it. This is by myself, Salman Shuaib. Now, I didn't think of this before, but let me give you an example of this. Suppose I had to choose what's a good example? I'm gonna cut off right now. I'm gonna think of a good example and give it to you, because I don't like to waste your time, okay? Okay, I thought of a example that I'm gonna solve live. So suppose I want to get a YMCA membership to play squash in their wonderful facility. Okay, and my income, suppose it's like I have an okay income, but I don't have the amount in my budget to afford another membership. So let's see, given these parameters, given I'm passionate about squash and I do not need to compromise by pain of force, then so there's nobody forcing me to compromise to not play squash. So we go on ahead. Then considering my budget, what is my budget? It's not in my budget. If my passion is affordable, it's not affordable, I should follow it. So in this case, playing squash is rejected. So this is an example of applying universal decision-making NESt, a key universal. Okay, Thank you for listening. One last note, my friends. I'm going to post this pamphlet's link as mentioned in the description of the video. It's the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. This covers the Nash equilibrium perspective by Charles A. Holt and Elvin E. Roth of the University of Virginia and the Harvard University. Also, I'm going to post this PowerPoint's link in the description, and the reason for doing that is I want you to spread it as freely as possible. And I think knowing this fact, this key to rational decision making is each individual's human right, birthright, and it may just be a key to the peace of the world as well. The third thing is I will recommend a game theory course which I took from Udemy. And just to clarify, Udemy is not sponsoring me, as in they're not paying me to say this. I'm just going to post a link to the game theory video series that they have on there that I greatly benefited from, and it introduced John Nash's theories to me, although I've seen the movie Beautiful Mind, a great movie to watch as well. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.